Hey, welcome back to Maple Grove Voices Inside the Huddle podcast presented by Twin Cities Orthopedics. This is episode number 5. The first week of school, it's in the books, and despite the changing of the calendar, Maple Grove Crimson girls soccer team remains white hot. And later on in the podcast, we're chatting with senior Meredith Haakenson about her recruiting process to Michigan, as well as what her pregame ritual is. Stand by for that. First, let's hit the scoreboard. Rewinding to football Friday night, both Osseo and Maple Grove were at home. Both came away with big-time defensive performances in their victories. Crimson moved to 2-0 on the season with a 9-6 win over Prior Lake in what was an absolute slobber knocker. Osseo picked up their first win of the season with a 20-19 win over White Bear Lake. The Orioles defensively stopped the Bears on 4th down and shorts during the football game. Maple Grove travels to Minnetonka next week, while Osseo hosts Blaine for their homecoming. Maple Grove volleyball jumped to 3-0 on the season, defeating Spring Lake Park 3-2. Osseo defeated Park Center 3-1 to move to 2-1 on their season. And Spectrum defeated Heritage Christian Academy 3-2. The Eagles are 0-3 on the season. In boys soccer, Maple Grove defeated Irondale and tied Spring Lake Park last week and sit at 4-0-1 on the season. Osseo lost 2-1 to Park Center, but then rallied to defeat Elk River 3-0 to up their record to 2-3. Heritage Christian Academy dropped a pair of games last week. The Eagles lost to Southwest Christian 6-0 and to Providence 1-0 as well. In girls soccer, Osseo battled to a 0-0 tie against Park Center and then tied Elk River on Saturday 1-1 to move to 1-3 on the season. The Eagles of Heritage Christian Academy finished the week 1-1 with a 1-0 win over Southwest Christian and then lost to 1-0 to Providence on Saturday afternoon. The story locally in girls soccer has been Maple Grove. The Crimson, 6-0 on the season, yet to allow a single goal in 6 games. And with 2 wins this past week over Irondale and Spring Lake Park, the stage is set for the biggest week in Crimson girls soccer history in the history of the program as they face Centennial, then Park Center, and number 2 Washburn on Saturday afternoon. Senior Meredith Haakenson leads the team in scoring with 6 goals, and the Minnesota Gatorade Player of the Year from last year. She joins us next after a message from our friends at Twin Cities Orthopedics.
It takes a lot to bring down a Minnesota Vikings player, but when an injury occurs, a Twin Cities Orthopedics physician is on the field and ready to assess the situation. TCO is the official sports medicine provider of the Minnesota Vikings and proud to be a part of the new home of the Minnesota Vikings in Eagan. Best yet, the community can see the same great doctors at one of our 40 clinic locations across the metro. Visit TCOMN.com to learn more. TCOMN.com.
It's Inside the Huddle on Maple Grove Voice, and for the first time in our podcast history, although it be very a short history. I mean, this is only episode 5, so we're grabbing an athlete and Meredith Haakenson from Maple Grove, rock star soccer player going to Michigan on a full ride. She's a superstar. She was Gatorade Player of the Year in Minnesota. She is a USA Today. If they do a McDonald's All-American type thing, she's a preseason All-American selection, and she's taking some time with us here today. So first of all, thanks for taking some time.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
All right, so talk about that, because when I talk to kids all the time, we talk about how fast it goes.
Yeah.
And here you are, the start of your senior year. How fast has it gone?
It's gone unbelievably fast, I'd have to say. I am really excited for this year. Everyone always talks about senior year and how it's your best year, and I'm hoping this is going to be the best one yet.
We'll get into kind of, I hate, as a coach myself, I hate using expectations because I think the season is always going to be what the season's going to be because there are so many variables. But when you look at where you've been and where this program's positioned now, it kind of has to be exciting, having the expectations of, yes, we should be one of those teams that everybody kind of has a target on our back every single game.
I think that's actually one of our biggest goals this year is to be that team with the target on their back that people are always looking to beat and looking to chase and everything. And so here in our program, at least, our bars this year is set really high, and we've already talked about goals and what we're trying to accomplish this year. And so I think it'll be a good year.
When you think back to the little Meredith running around playing soccer, when you're how it works when you first start playing, and you can always tell where the ball is because that's where every single player is chasing the ball. What are some of your early memories of playing soccer?
I'd have to say my earliest memories of playing soccer would be in the backyard with both my brothers and then their friends. From a young age, I've always played in the backyard with boys, and I think that actually you can see that in the game and just how I play. And so, yeah, I think the earliest memory is World Cup in the backyard.
And your team won, obviously?
Oh, every time. Every time.
Let's talk about last year a little bit. And you have the regular season you do, and you think you have it, right? And so you go to Centennial, get to the section championship game, which is awesome. And in this program's history, we've never made it to state. You're 7 minutes away, you have a 1-goal lead, and I know I'm it's probably like fingernails on the chalkboard, and I don't even want to revisit that. What I want to revisit is the result of that game wasn't what we wanted, but did it drive you? Has it driven this group, like your seniors and the juniors that have played together now for the last 2 or 3 years? Has it driven you guys in the off season?
Of course, a lot of us have thought back about that, and we've talked about it, and it's all about like that one extra player, that one extra kick, what we could have done. And I think that's pushed a lot of people. And then just with things they need to work on, so that one extra pass that might have gotten intercepted by somebody, that's what people have been doing in the off season. They've been working on that, or that one shot they've been working on. And so definitely it's driven a lot of us.
So you got to go. You have that taste in your mouth, and you go through the whole summer, and you're just like, okay, you kind of just want to get back after it again. So now here we are. Tryouts happen. You turn the corner, and now you're going up to Duluth tomorrow and it's always kind of the start of and then you're right into it, and you get 3 games, including, Osseo before school even starts.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that, because Coach talked about how fast it's going to go, and it does. And so, what do you want to get out of your senior year?
I think, of course, all of us. Well, I mean, we've already talked about our goals and what we want to do. All of us want a state championship. And with the work ethic that we've put in and that we're putting in right now, I think that's definitely visible. It's in our future if we work hard for it. But as you were saying earlier, there's a target on our back. And so I think that'll drive us this year just to be the best that we can be.
What do you like best about the game?
I would have to say what I like best about the game is just the people that you get to meet and the people that you get to play with. There's some unbelievable people, especially on this team this year. We have a great group of girls that I'm really, really excited about. We have all 4 grade levels, which is going to be awesome. I'd say that the people by far make the game.
I love it. Okay, so talk to me about Michigan.
Yes.
And that whole process, because I tell kids all the time when we talk about getting recruited, it's kind of when you're an athlete. I always use the analogy. It's kind of it's one of the times in your life where, like, the process is so amazing that you have people coming to you saying, "Hey, we want you to be part of our program." What made Michigan the right fit for you?
It came down to a few schools, but in the end, by far, Michigan was the best choice. I think it definitely came down to the academics. I'm looking for a good school, a great school for academics, and then also the soccer team is building. We've got a really, really good class coming in above me, so the 2017s, and then my class too is amazing. I've met like half of them already, and they're great people and great soccer players. And then also just the family atmosphere that they have at Michigan and the college feel and the college town. So I think that's kind of what those 3 things are what picked it apart from all the other schools.
Did you enjoy the process? I mean, was it kind of a cool thing?
It had its ups and downs. I mean, if you would have told me when I was younger I'd be figuring out what college I wanted to go to my sophomore year, I would have said no way. And so it was a little bit of a shock at first that I had to start the process so young, but I don't regret it at all. It was awesome. I met some great coaches, great people, got to see some awesome places too. So yeah, it was good.
All right, now's the fun time. I'm just going to rapid fire shoot stuff at you, and you just give me one answer. Favorite movie?
The Blind Side.
All right. Any pregame rituals, routines? What do you do?
Music all the time. I have to play my warm-up playlist before I start the games.
What's in Meredith Haakensen's playlist?
It's a secret. I can't tell you that.
Tell me that.
Yeah.
Favorite musical artist?
Ooh, Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars. I love it. When you are any meal, pregame meal?
Ooh, probably a sandwich and a smoothie.
What kind of sandwich?
Turkey sandwich.
Turkey sandwich. Any mayo?
Yes, always.
Okay. Peanut butter and jelly. Are you a fan?
I am.
Okay.
Depends though.
Chunky or creamy?
Creamy.
White bread or wheat bread?
I like white, but my parents only buy wheat.
Oh, that's disappointing.
It is.
What kind of what type of jelly or jam?
Probably grape.
Grape. I like it. Pizza. What's your favorite?
Ooh, that's my favorite food. So probably cheese pizza.
Just cheese?
Just cheese.
Cheese. All right. Finish this sentence for me. The Crimson Girls soccer team will have a successful year
If we all mesh together.
It's that easy?
It's that easy.
All right. And what do you define as success?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, see?
What do I define as success?
That's a coach question. I threw that basketball coach question at you.
This threw me a little bit.
I know it, right?
I think a success is anything that we work hard enough for.
What's been special about going to Maple Grove?
It's an awesome school. By far, I would not trade it for anything. What's special about it is the people. The people make it by far.
All right, that's all I got. I've bugged you enough. Keep healthy this year, and we'll see you at games.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.